Hi, writers. It's Kim Soar from Red Oak Writing here. I've been asked a number of times, like, how to just logistically deal with manuscripts on the screen and giving feedback during our online roundtables. And so I thought I would do a little mini video here, just kind of showing you the nuts and bolts of how I do it. Other people have other ways that they approach it, and there's no right way, but this is what works for me. So I'm going to share my screen and use a sample of writing that I wrote, and just kind of go through how I deal with it. So this is the Word document. I go up to the review panel and I open it up, and then I look at a few things before we get started. This is something that you'll be using a lot, the new comment button. I use that mostly as I'm going through. I like to make sure that the track changes is turned on for everyone, and that I'm also showing all markup. So this is anything that I both change on the manuscript or notes that I put in the margin through the new comment button. And then I also always double check that these things are checked and that my revisions are going to show in balloons. Some versions of Word get wacky, and sometimes they don't appear and sometimes they do appear. But if they're looking funky or not appearing, this is where I go to look to see if maybe I need to change something up there so I can see the changes. So let's pretend that someone in the roundtable is reading this piece called Jewel T, and as I'm listening, I have some things that I want to comment on, or that pop out to me while I'm listening. So Jewel T. Bo barked before the doorbell had a chance to ring. I could feel the excitement level of the whole house change. Mom stubbed out her cigarette, took one last swallow of Pepsi, and closed her paperback. Now I'm going to highlight paperback there, because later on I might want to ask this writer what kind of paperback it was, what Mom was reading, and tell them maybe it would be interesting to know that, because that might give us some insight into her character right off the bat here. I turned myself right side up on the recliner. I like that. I think that shows something about this character who's speaking, and I want to comment on that for the writer too. And ran for the door, grateful for the distraction. Well, hi there, little miss. Is your mom at home? I didn't appreciate the little comment, but decided to cut the man on the other side of the screen door some slack, just for something to do. His blue shirt had dark armpit stains, and the plaid of his pants made me woozy. He held a black suitcase type thing that looked like it was made of extra thick cardboard. I want to comment on that for the writer, on the details, and then also on the language she uses for her voice. I mean, that's something that occurs to me as I'm listening to that. What could be in that case? What business did he have with my mother? Yes, I am. Now, wait a minute. I've lost track of what the question was. I have to go all the way back up here to see what the question was. I wonder if this writer might not want to save that question for the end of the paragraph. So I'm going to comment on that later. Yes, I am. Mom's voice startled me. Carol, grab the dog. Well, hello there. His eyes twinkled. A dimple appeared on his right cheek. It could be the dog. It's not really the dog, but might comment on that. He looked much nicer when he smiled. I'm your Jewel T man. May I come in and show you some of my samples? I think I'll stop there. So the writer would continue to read on, and I would just be highlighting things that I had on my mind. Then I can go back and during the time when it's quiet or while other people are making comments, I just tap in here. What kind of book? Shows the characters boredom. Now, I might not always have time to do all this typing in, and maybe Kim calls on me first, and I go, "Oh my gosh, what's but you can also, it's also like not too difficult to go through and see places where you've highlighted, and then try to remember what you were thinking. So if I see this now, I don't have to type it in, but I can say, there's something about these dark armpit stains in the plaid pants. Plaid pants puts it in a time period for me. And I would talk about those details and so forth. And then later, while somebody else was talking, I would go in and maybe put some more stuff in there. Here I might suggest, do you want to save this question for the end of the paragraph? And if I'm talking, if I'm giving verbal feedback, I might explain to the writer why that I'm making that suggestion or making that thought. And I would, explain that the question kind of comes far away from the answer, and sometimes that throws people off. And then here, maybe I don't make a comment. Maybe I just want to make the change for the writer. Maybe I want to say, oops, I'm going to delete the comment. If I right click on that, I can delete the comment. But maybe I just want to replace that word with the strangers or the salesman. Eyes twinkle, just to be really, really clear that it's not the dog who's saying that. Of course, we know that's true, and it's not a huge change. But anyway, that kind of stuff. So you can just go through, maybe you want to transition and you just want to type that in for the writer to have them think about that, and that will appear to them. At the end, then, of course, you save. I do it with a shortcut, but you can go up under File, Save As. And if you want to, you can change the title, Kim's Comments for Kim, because I was the writer of this as well, whatever. And then what I do is I attach that to an email after our roundtable. Right? Attach it to an email after our roundtable, and the writer, they're not in-depth comments, but the writer can, kind of just get some senses of where I stopped, where I was appreciating the writing, and sometimes I'll just put in a plus sign or a smiley face, and other times if I have a question along the way, if I'm confused, I can just pop that into the notes on the side as well. So I hope this helps, and let me know if you have other questions about just the logistics of all of this. Once you get used to it, it's not too bad. Thanks a lot.